everyone, welcome back to the Catholic Homestead. I'm Ava and this is my grandma. Today we're going to be making lamb cakes, but before we do that we thought we'd show you our new addition.
Yeah, remember in our last video, right Ava? Was it our last video? No,
it was a couple videos ago.
A couple videos ago. It was quite a while ago. But anyway, we were showing you, it was our garden video, right? And we were showing you our garden, our mediocre garden, right? And we had to rip it up because we were putting an addition on the house. And we thought we'd take this moment to show you exactly that we haven't actually just been doing nothing around here. We have been working and we have been doing stuff, and just because we haven't been posting videos doesn't mean we've stopped, right, Ava? So this is our addition. We're standing in it. It is not very big. It's about, what did you say this is? Maybe 20 by 20? That's way too big. No, maybe 10 by 12 or something like that. Yeah, it's not very big. It's just big enough here. Well, we're just going to take you on a little tour of it and show you what's going on here. Here we are. So I'm just going to take you a little tour of our little addition. It wasn't much of an addition, but it was so needed because we have a lot of people around here all the time. A lot of children, a lot of family, and we needed more space. The house that we came from was 7,000 square feet, and this just wasn't enough space to accommodate all of us. So I'm just going to show you. So anyway, here we have, this is the fireplace, and we picked this up at a thrift store, I think. And we just made a faux fireplace. I always like to, when you're doing a room, to have a focal place in the room, right? Nice place to put your nice little thing. We have rabbits, we have bunnies. So, so we like to I like bunnies around, so that's not an Easter thing, that's just an everyday thing with the bunnies. And then we put on these candles down here, and they're on timers. So they'll come on and they stay on for 5 hours in the evening. Okay, so over here, follow us, Eva. We have, yes, it is a television, but it's a Nintendo. This is what we use it for. So the little kids come in, and we don't say no to all video games. A lot of video games we do, but we like these. What's your favorite game on here, Ava?
Either Pac-Man or Mario 3.
Mario 3. There's like 60 of them, the old timer games. So the kids don't spend a lot of time on here. Almost, like maybe, if they come in a whole day, especially in the winter. In the summer, they won't be on this at all, but, maybe they'll come in and muck around on this for about half an hour. It gives them something to do. Right, but over here, this is our window. Don't look outside, Ava. Don't show them the outside. We haven't had a chance to clean up. We're getting ready for our spring, our summer. What is this? Somebody put something in there? I feel like we have cats. They do a little damage. These are our tomato plants. So this is a hydroponic garden, just with water. So I've planted these tomato plants, and I'm going to transplant them as soon as they're big enough. And this is the start of our garden. Even though we were mediocre gardeners last year, we're not quitters, right, Ava?
Nope.
We're still going at it. So over here, there is going to be a wood stove in this little addition. This is another reason why we put the addition on. Yeah. It's not hooked up yet. We didn't get around to doing that this year. But anyway, a couple reasons why we want a wood stove. We heat this house with wood. It's a wood furnace, but it also runs off a hydro, and you need a fan to pump. You pump all the heat throughout the house. Now, always having heat is not a guarantee, is it? Especially in the country. Like, we have storms, the hydro goes out, and then we'd be cold. With a wood stove, we can always do two things. We can always have heat, and we can always cook. And we have a whole forest, so we always have wood. So that's why a wood stove is a must. I like to do things on a bit of a survival. I like to have things that are usable for when we don't have such things as electricity and stuff like that. So this is why we have a wood stove in this little thing here in our little room. Here's our little table. Now, if you just pan over to the rest of the room. Just scroll around to the rest of the room, and you'll see that this is the dining room area over here. So what we like about this room here is if we're doing anything with the children, they can sit at the table And moms can either be helping or they can be sitting over here having some tea while the kids play or color. And over here I've set up a little popcorn station. Now I like to have things that are usable in the kitchen or in the house, right? So when you have this many people here all the time, it's good to get, they love to and this is cheap. This is the cheapest thing going. I buy them little flavorings. They come, they want to make popcorn. Grandma makes some popcorn, and it's all good. So basically, guys, this is what our little addition was. This is what we ripped out our whole pumpkin for, to put this in here to make our life a little bit more easier for living. So today we're going to be doing a lamb cake. We're getting ready for Easter. This is Holy Week right now, so this is the beginning. So we're going to make a lamb cake and show everybody how to do that little tradition. Before we get that, I just want to show you something. In your house, you should, it's handy. I don't know if we can see this, but I made this maybe 15 years ago. Giant banner. What does it say, Ava?
I don't know.
You don't remember.
It says that.
It says, "This is the day.
This is the
day that the Lord hath made.
Rejoice."
Rejoice, right? So we'll put this up in the house somewhere, probably across this window here for our Easter. So anyway, if you do a big project like this, it's a little late now to start something like this, but every year you should do something to add to the celebration to make it special for your family. And then when you do something like this, then you have it for years. Years. I think I cut it out. I may have sewed, I don't know, but my mother did actually most of the sewing on it. So anyway, so let's head on over to the kitchen, Ava. Let's get our aprons on and let's make that lamb cake. Here we are, Ava, in the kitchen. We got our aprons on and we're ready to go, aren't we?
Yep, we're ready to make a lamb cake.
This here is our pan. Let's just show everybody let's show the people the pans, a back and a front, okay? So
what if you don't have a pan?
What if you don't have a pan? Good question. Well, look on Facebook Marketplace. That's a great place. Or I believe Amazon sells them. Why do we do a lamb cake at Easter?
Because Jesus is the lamb.
The Lamb of God. He's the sacrificial lamb. He's the victim. And we want to teach the kids that. So we've always had a lamb cake. I've always done a lamb cake at some particular time, for Easter. Sometimes I do it on Holy Thursday, right? Yes, I have. Well, probably you were not born, so you wouldn't know. But we used to, if we didn't have, now we, a lot of times over the previous 30 years, we didn't always have all of Holy Week services. So we were left to our own means for things like Good Friday and Holy Thursday. So one thing I used to do is I used to make a Holy Thursday supper, right? Because Holy Thursday is basically the Last Supper. And we used to have the lamb because this is I put a lamb cake out on Thursday to represent, that Jesus was about to be sacrificed. The Lamb of God is going to be sacrificed. I mean, you can do two kinds of different cakes. One like that, and then on the Easter, you can have a joyful lamb, right?
Right.
With the Easter eggs and the and all that kind of stuff. But I would just say, pick one and have one lamb cake, But anyway, because people will be sick of a lamb cake. But anyway, there's lots to teach the kids about that. And we're going to go. So do you want to start with the ingredients? What are the ingredients? Our lamb cake was going to be a pound cake. So we're making a very dense, heavy cake with a lot of butter. And it's a pound cake. So for those ingredients, what we need here. Okay, so what we have here, what are our ingredients? First of all, we have 6 eggs. Now I've already I've got this ready so this doesn't take forever for us to do it. We have 6 eggs. We have 1.5 cups of sugar. We have 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We have a teaspoon of baking powder. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. 6 teaspoons of milk. 2 3/4 cup of flour and 1 1/2 cups of butter, right? So this is what's going to make our cake. We're going to take these wet ingredients. We're going to take the egg, get rid of that, the egg, the milk, and the vanilla.
Vanilla.
Yeah,
Again.
put the vanilla in. You got the camera on us? Yeah,
I
that's
got
good.
it.
Okay, and then put the egg in there. Or no, the egg's already in. Put the milk in. Yeah. And now you're going to whisk it together. No, you got to whisk harder than that. You got whisk on the side. This is side. Get that good and whisk. There we go. Okay, so now that that's whisked, now we're going to take the rest of the ingredients and we're going to beat them in the mixer. Put the butter in our mixer, and then we're going to beat it up there. Here we'll add the sugar, just to give the butter something to mix to. Okay. Make sure that the sugar and the butter are well incorporated before I add anything else, okay? Because I don't want to overheat the flour. Now I always sift in my baking powder because nobody wants a giant lump of baking powder. Can ruin for one person a whole piece of cake, right?
Yep.
So I do that. And then we'll add this flour here. I'm going to turn this down. Sorry. So that we can get in there with the flour. And then here with the flour. There we go. And up we get. Now we're going to mix this on low to get all the dry ingredients incorporated so that there's nothing dry left. Okay, so we're just going to speed it up just for 1 minute. We don't want to overmix this. Now we're just going to make sure we scrape it, and then we're going to add the wet ingredients. Okay, wet ingredients. There we go, we just add all that into there. And get that.
It's supposed to be that, like, crumbly.
No, we're mixing it a little bit more. Get that good mix. That looks good. So now we're going to take it down here, and let's go back over to the table, Ava. Here we are. We're going to now fill up our pan. You'll notice, whoops, that there's 2 sides to this pan. One has a hole in it. You want to put it into the pan that doesn't have a hole. So, but first we're going to actually grease the pan, and I'm going to use some Pam spray. Did you want to do this?
Sure.
You go ahead and you can do that. Now you want to make sure it's really good because we don't want it to stick anywhere, right? So we want it well covered. Here, try the here. Do the next one here.
Okay.
So here we go. Do you want to put this in for Grandma? Not the side with the hole, the side without the hole. Okay, go ahead. We want to get it all in there because remember, it has to rise and it has to fill out the other half of the pan. Okay, so we're going to get this lamb cake filled right to the top. Right to the top. Get it all smoothed out. See how thick it is? That's because this is a pound cake. Okay, so we're going to put the lid on. There we are, and you see here, there's a little hole here. This will hold this cake in place so the lid, when the cake starts to rise, it doesn't pop off. Okay? And we're going to pop it into the oven. Here we are, back. Thanks to the magic of television. Of editing. We're here, and like no time has elapsed. And we have our cake. Now, we have taken our cake and we've frozen it. So when you take your cake out of the pan, here it is, here's our lamb cake. When you take your cake out of the pan, stand him up immediately so that he is, so that he stands up without tipping over. Because you'll see on the back here that this was the top of the pan. His face is the bottom. It's always a little bit wobbly. So for your own benefit, stand him up immediately and freeze him standing up, right? And then the cake will kind of settle to make him stand. I actually propped him up so that he would stand straight. And now that he's frozen, and when he's thawed, he'll just stay standing. Okay? So anyway, so here we are. So now we gotta decorate our little lamb buddy here. So we're going to do, if you've seen those videos on, you probably haven't, but little memes that go around about, okay, time to get out the lamb cake pan, and all the people trying to make their lamb cakes, and they're really quite,
Never.
I know, that's because you're not on the internet. But they're really disturbing. We're going to put a clip in of that meme so that you can see that is the lamb cake, because they're actually very difficult to decorate so that it looks pretty if you're not a professional. Because we did a pound cake, I've decided not to do an icing on this cake, just to do a glaze, right? And that way I don't have to worry about, having it decorated perfect and, not looking like a scary monster lamb. Okay, so this is what we're going to do here. Okay, so we're going to just take some icing sugar. A glaze is so easy to make. We're going to put a bunch in a bowl here. Maybe, does that look like at least a cup, I guess? And now we're going to add just a little milk to it. So here we are. We have our bowl of about a cup of icing sugar. Now here, pick up that whisk, Ava, and you can just whisk this. Now be very, very careful with the milk.
Whisk it while you're pouring it?
Yeah, I'm just going to put a couple of drops in. Okay, there we go, a couple of drops. Now, you don't generally need a whole lot of liquid. You're only making a glaze. But if you put too much liquid in, it's going to be runny and not very good. Here, we need a little more. So the best to start and do little bits at a time until you get to the right. Get all that icing sugar so that it's wet. There we go. This is like a glazed donut.
Here, you want?
Yeah,
It's hard.
it's hard. But we don't want it to be too runny. So look at that. Okay, so that's probably good enough. Right, so here, get that spoon over here. And now we're just going to glaze this little lamb here, okay?
Scoop it and throw it on?
Yeah, put it on there. We're going to just do this. Get them all glazed up here. We should have maybe a little spatula. Oh, here we are. We got our beautiful glazed lamb. What do you think, Ava? It's looking scary, like all the lamb. But you know what? This is where we come in and we put the little what do we call that? The little finishing touches.
Yeah.
That take away the scariness. And we have to wait for this glaze will harden.
And then it won't
But
look
in the
so
meantime,
scary.
and it won't look so scary. In the meantime, let's fix him up a little bit so he doesn't look so okay? So here, let's give him some eyeballs. Now I saw in that meme, and I have the little candied eyeballs, and I was like, that looks scary. I think, and I thought maybe we'll put candy eyeballs and I went no. After seeing that meme, I said no. So I decided we were going to go with cloves. We're going to just put a little clove in his eye. How's that look?
Good.
Nice and delicate. Nice and delicate. How's that look? How's that look, fans? Now, we got to put a little jingle bell on him. Nice little white. I looked for red ribbon, but I didn't have any red, so I had to go with white. Right? How's that look? How's that look? Is he starting to look good yet? Is he starting to look good?
Yeah.
He's starting to look good. Now we got our cross, right? So we're going to put him right about, maybe I think I might just, my eye judgment is telling me that stick's going to be too long. So, and I'm doing this backwards. So tell me, how does that look? Oops. There we go. Alrighty. So there we have him. Now, he's quite not ready for the table yet. we're gonna put, now we could do a couple of things. We could take some coconut and dye it green, but I just went to the dollar store and grabbed a little bit of grass.
I wouldn't put that on there.
What do you mean you wouldn't put that on?
I mean, it'll stick, like I would, but it'll stick to the glaze.
Stick to the what?
The glaze.
Well,
right, you have it all, it's gonna get all.
here you go. Here, you help us out here, Ava. Put this in there. Just around a little bit. We don't need a lot. Coconut might have been a better choice. Because this stuff seems a little cuckoo. Here we go. Let's get it down. Let's get it off our lamb.
Tree from the coconut family. What? That was the first thing I thought of.
There we go. Okay. Alrighty. This working backwards is not my favorite thing. Okay. And again, it would be a little easier for us if we let our glaze harden. But but you know us, we like to do it the hard way. Okay. And everybody's favorite part,
The eggs.
some eggs, some little decoration of the eggs. Here you go, Ava. I'll let you put the eggs around. Ava said, can we eat the eggs? I said, is it Easter yet? There we go, there we have it. What do you think, everybody? Are you ready for the Easter lamb? Ava?
Me, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a bloody nose.
Right? And before we go, since we can't jump into this and give it a try, we have to wait for Easter. We did put up our sign a little bit early. Why don't we move it over there and show our sign? It's a little bit big. But if you have time, I mean, you're not going to have time this year, but next year, make this a project. Say I want to do something special in my house that everybody can know when the sign goes up. Here, everybody looks forward to. Where are we going to put our banner? That was the first words when their new house. Where are we going to put our banner? This is the day that the Lord hath made. Rejoice. Hope everybody is going to make this last Holy Week as holy as possible. Get all your preparations in. Get your lamb cakes made. All right, everybody. Have a happy Easter, and I hope it's as glorious as it's meant to be.
Bye.